We are out here, guys. It is officially trail camera season. You know what that means? It means rain gear to stay and keep the ticks and vegetation off of my body. Had a feeling. Right where I plan on parking, there's the Dell. Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to another WaterHopin episode. Welcome back to another beginning of what is hopefully to be the best deer season yet. It is June 9th, if my math is correct, and we have just driven 150 miles. It is 5:30 in the morning. The sun has just come up a little bit ago. We've got 4 cameras on a lot of acreage, guys, and who's to say, you know, how effective I can be with it. I got a couple things going for me. I've been here quite a few times. I've got history with it. I kind of understand the layout. I know where deer tend to operate, and I have an idea of where I want to put these cameras. So 4 cameras, we'll check them a month from now. Let's get going, let's get in the woods. Time to put the net on because I can already see them starting to pile on and I'm standing in a parking lot. So with that being said, guys, let's go, let's get her done, and let's kick off another beautiful year of deer hunting, guys. Good luck to everybody out there, and hopefully we stick one this year. Stay tuned. If I start getting some ticks, see, the whole reason I wear these rain bottoms, guys, is because the ticks can't grab it. So my clothes are treated with permethrin. I feel that's worth noting, but sometimes ticks just don't give a shit, you know, and they'll land on you. Back in here, I've had a lot of fun back in here. Passed on my first ever 2 bucks, actually, in that cut down in there, about 150 yards down. So the way it goes is my first year I ever put up cameras was 2021. That also happens to be the year that I got my first ever deer, my first ever buck. Shot it from the ground at 26 yards, 4-point. Can the camera see the gnats? Because if it can't, I mean, it's a damn good thing I got this, let's put it that way. I actually feel totally comfortable now that I got this net. I had a net before, but lost it. This is the tree. This is where we're gonna get it done, I think, guys. Right here. Crazy that this is my favorite tree of all time. Kind of weird. I don't know why it is, but I mean, I know why it is, but you wouldn't think it. A tree like that in an area like this, and that's my favorite. Bed right there. My tree's right there. So the buck was right here on this trail, and I was in that tree. Roll footage. Map. I gotta move in here soon. Starting to get thicker as we get closer to this tree line here. I gotta bust into the, oh, there's a doe right there. Right ahead of me. Looking straight at me. See it, guys? Right in the middle. I'm gonna just do this blindly. Keep my hands up. Good rule of thumb, guys. If you don't know what you're walking into, keep your hands up. Ah, I thought I remembered this. Yeah. Old boy got a little water hole or something he made here. It's right off of a really defined trail coming down through here. You can see it's kind of on this second third of the hill. I'm gonna put my camera right there. a little bit of cover or whatever you want to say around it. Just a little bit I can do to help. That's camera number one of 4 only, so this could go quick. I got at least one more camera I want to put in here, and then we're going to walk back to the truck and go put the other 2 in another specific area that I have my eyes on for the season. So one more camera here, but not immediately close to here. We got to take a little 1/4 mile walk to where I want to put the other one, and then we will go about a mile back to the truck, hop in, drive a little bit till we get to the other spot, and then put up the other 2. But we got company over here, and I'm not surprised. It's a good area. Just saw a tail flicker middle of this trail. There's deer here still. Gotta find I'm trying to decide. See, I've only got 4 cameras, and it is clear as day these deer are using the edge of this field here. And now, while this might not be a tactic I'll apply come season, and I definitely got to make sure this camera is moved before season, this time of year it might be a great idea to put a camera right at this field edge, because I'm going to be back here in July and August to see what's going on with the camera and potentially move it. And right now I'm just trying to get an idea of what deer are around, any big bucks, things like that. A field edge camera like this might not be a bad idea. I think that deer was bedded right here. You see that bed? This looks like where I want to be. See, something like this. You guys see what I'm talking about? We got all these little tiny little trees here. Nothing above it. This is where I would want to put a camera on a field edge. You know, I was just thinking about something. You know, I was just thinking how this isn't fun, right? Like, I'm not enjoying, you know, this hiking through this tick infested, gnat infested, mosquito infested, spider infested area when it's in the 70s and whatever, right? And I think that's baloney. I think I'm calling out my own attitude. My attitude is baloney. You gotta love it all. You gotta, in order to appreciate these 20-degree November mornings when it's the 1st through the 10th or whatever time you're out there, those magic days, it's about these days, you know? The days when you came out and I got no bow in my hand, you know? There's nothing really exciting going on, but it's about the potential. It's about what it could mean, right? It could mean I stumble upon my first ever booner. It could mean I get a picture of the buck that I end up shooting 6 months from now, or 5 months from now. It could mean a lot of different things. It could mean I learned something, and that's one of the biggest things, is making sure you're always learning. And I am always learning. I intentionally haven't listened to my favorite podcast, the Fall Podcast, for a couple weeks now, because I'm completely caught up. I've listened to every episode, so he's at a point now where life's busy. He's got other stuff going on, and he's only really coming out with, Aaron Blicey, he's only coming out with like 1 episode a week. So I wanted to make sure I could listen to deer podcasts the whole time I was driving. So it's like a 2.5 hour drive to get out here, plus all the driving I do while I'm out here and going home. So stockpiled a few podcasts, and we've been listening to them. But keep that attitude positive, folks. So, other than being in completely different areas, the differences between these 2 camera spots. That first spot is a history spot. It is a spot where there are fingers that come up from private. And the private, every year, at least up until this year, has had some form of a food plot. Last year he had soybeans. Didn't get a look down there this year, but probably something different, maybe something the same. Either way, that spot is a great spot for traveling deer. And it also sets up nice. There's a little saddle. It's got a bunch of nice little features that make it a good area to catch some activity during the rut. And also, there's thickets all around that are basically impenetrable, to the point where it's a great spot for a buck to take a doe, keep her there. That actually happened to me twice last year. I saw bucks pushing does into there, so it's a good spot. I gotta go down to then go all the way up, and then down, and then up. That's where we're going. Steep. All right, talk about taking a really long walk and end up not doing it. But how do you know till you go, right? So I just went approximately, I don't know, I'll check Onyx, but I've probably covered a little over a mile in this last 30 or so minutes of walking. And up and down a couple different caverns, or not caverns, what am I saying? Up and down a couple little gullies, maybe like 50-foot elevation change, you know, dropping to the bottom, creek bottom, and 50 foot back up. So nothing major, but definitely steep and definitely wet. Only to find not so much. So we're on our way back out. Finally stumbled upon a really nice heavy trail that I remember from previous seasons, and we got a good tree right there, closer to the road than I like, but kind of the same premise as camera number 2. Oh, sorry, this is camera number 4, guys. The Canon apparently was not recording, but I put up camera number 3 about 30 minutes ago. So this is camera number 4. We are about to finish the cameras, and I'll talk to you guys a little bit about what I did and what my thoughts are about the season. So we'll get this last camera up, and we'll be on our way. Actually, one of the easier camera settings that I've done, and main reason is I have less cameras this year. We'll be out here in July, probably the weekend after the 4th. I'll be out here to give them the first check and probably shuffle them around a little bit. But that's the first step of the hunting season, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Quick little video here, and yeah, let's go do some fishing and keep this Sunday rolling. Thanks for watching, guys. Keep water hopping. Hit that like button, and appreciate you tuning in. Have a good one.